Hey everybody, Grant Clayton, founder of 1% List here. I wanted to make a quick video about overcoming listing objections. So these are the objections you're going to run into when you're on a listing appointment. Specifically in this video, we're going to tackle how to handle the objections of, well, we're thinking about hiring this other agent that charges 6% or whatever they charge because we think they might be better service. Or why don't we just go with a limited listing service? We pay $100. They're going to put us on the MLS. Why don't we just go that route? So specifically, we're going to target those objections. So the number one thing is always ask the question, are you interviewing other agents? Okay, because at that point, you can start controlling the narrative. Just knowing who your competition is makes it easier. So if they say, oh yeah, we're interviewing somebody else from such and such, and you know in your head, pretty much everybody at that company is going to be charging a much higher fee, and say, look, here's why you want to consider me over them. Number one, we're better because we do more deals than them. You know, the typical agent that's charging higher fees doesn't do very many deals because they have higher fees. They can't do as many deals. And so you make the push that, you know, who do you want to hire? Do you want to hire the person who does 4 or 5 deals a year? Do you want to hire the person who does 20 or 30 deals a year? I know the market better. I know how to price your house better. I know how to do everything better because I do it more. Okay. So that is your first easy objection to overcome. The next one is, look, we're more cost effective. We're going to save you a lot of money. That's going to make everything easier. Imagine getting into the inspection period when you got an offer and you find out you've got an $8,000 roof repair coming. The money that I save you is going to make it easier to stomach that bill. Okay. If you're paying 6%, if you're paying top dollar to somebody to sell your house and you get a huge inspection issue that you did not know you have, guess what? You got a problem. Okay. We're going to make those deals easier. And you just tell them, best case scenario, we're going to keep a lot more money in your pocket. Worst case scenario, if something like that happens, you're going to be able to use our savings as a tool to make deals happen or keep deals together that should fall apart. Okay. The next one is simply, we're better. Okay, we're better than these people. We do more deals than them. We spend more time in the market. We're doing more CMAs. We're doing everything. And practice makes perfect. The more you do something, the better you are. We are client focused. We are literally designed as a company to make the client happier by providing a better value proposition. That's what we're here to do. We are looking out for you. That's what we do. Okay, that's the whole genesis of our company, is saving our clients money and doing more deals, which makes us better agents. It's very simple. Okay. And if at the end of it, you think in your mind, you know what, they're really thinking about paying that 6%, here's the hammer. All right. Here's the right hook that's going to knock them out. Look, if you think 6% makes sense, pay me my low 1% listing fee for full service, professional photography, everything else, and offer the buyer's agent 5%. If you offer a buyer's agent 5%, some lucky agent is going to get paid double what they should be paid for selling your house. Agents will line up around the block to sell your house. They will bring you the most ridiculous, amazing offers you can imagine because you are drastically overpaying a buyer's agent. At the end of the day, you can tell them at the end of the day, agents only operate as a dual agency a small fraction of the time. It's not very often. Almost every time we're going to be working with a cooperating agent. So if you're working with a cooperating agent, the best way to motivate them is to pay them a ridiculous fee of money. So pay that huge, save all the listing commission, pay that huge amount of money to a buyer's agent bonus or in higher buyer's commission. Trust me, they'll line up around the block to sell your house. And that's when they're like, holy crap, you're really just here for me. You're really just looking out for me. Yes, that's really all I'm here to do is look out for you. That is why I am here. Okay. The next thing is, let's say you're going up against a limited listing service, the do-it-yourselfers. Okay, pay me $100 or $200 and put me on the MLS. Those people. The problem is you're doing it yourself. Okay, and just make this very simple analogy. Ask them what they do for a living. Oh, well, I'm a diesel mechanic. Okay, great. You're probably a little bit better at your job than I am at your job. And they'll laugh and they'll say, yeah, my job's kind of hard. And you say, yeah, I'm probably a little bit better at my job than you are at my job too. Okay. And you just take them down that road. Just say, if I'm just a little bit better at my job than you are at my job, and you know what, I do my job dozens of times a year. You do my job once every 6 to 10 years, probably statistically, but that's fine. Let's say I'm just a little bit better at my job than you are at my job. At my fee, if I'm just a little bit better, I'm at least going to make you break even. Okay. If you underprice it, it's going to cost you money. Okay. If you sell it a little bit slower and you're sitting there paying your mortgage and your taxes and your principal and interest for a while, guess what? It's probably going to cost you money. If you make a mistake, it'll probably cost you a lot of money. Okay. If you do bad on inspections, if you don't know how to manage that side of the deal, it's going to cost you money. If you get a horrible appraisal that comes through and you don't know it, okay, and you don't know how to run a CMA and realize, hey, my 350 house just got a horrible appraisal and appraised at 310. That's going to cost you 40 grand. A 350 house only cost me 3,500 bucks. That's all that my fee is. So basically, if I'm a little bit better at my job than you are at my job, I'm probably going to save you a ton of money. Okay. The next reason is agents avoid for sale by owners. And the answer why is pretty simple. An agent's job, if they're representing their buyer and another agent is representing the seller, the agent's job is to leverage everything that they can to get the best possible deal for their buyer. Well, the problem with a limited listing service, basically pay 200 bucks to go on the MLS, the problem with them is nobody's really representing the buyer. They're on their own. Somebody just paid to go on the MLS. Okay. And so now if that agent who's working with the buyer, if they really do their job and they really leverage every situation they can to benefit their buyer, guess what? The deal is probably going to fall apart because the seller is going to get very defensive or very aggressive or both. And they're going to feel like they're being trampled on because they don't have any representation because they only pay $200 to go on the MLS and represent themselves. And so effectively, that agent is morally and ethically responsible to their client. They're not responsible to that seller, but they have to be responsible to the seller. They have to work with both sides. They have to help both sides because if they don't, the deal is very likely to fall apart. And guess whose fault it is if the deal falls apart? It's the fault of the buyer's agent because that's the only agent involved in the transaction. The listing agent's going to point at the buyer's agent, say, you screwed this whole thing up. The buyer is going to say, I love this house. And now everybody's mad. And now it's all screwed up because you're not doing your job. When in fact, they are doing their job. They're representing their buyer. They're not there to help the seller. They're not supposed to help the seller, but they have to. Okay. So by doing the right thing for their buyer, by doing what the buyer wants, they're putting their license in jeopardy. They're acting in an immoral and unethical way in order to try to keep their buyer happy because the for sale by owner listing that's on the MLS put them in an impossible position. Can you see where agents would start to hate being in that position? I can guarantee you they will hate being in that position. You will only go through that once or twice as an agent where you will start to say, I don't want to sell for sale by owners. I just don't. If they will not sign a dual agency agreement with me to where I can handle both sides, I'm not dealing with a for sale by owner. I hate them. All it does is frustrate everyone, including my client. And I would rather not go through that. So guess what? They're going to avoid selling your house. Guess what percentage of buyers use an agent? 89% of buyers use an agent to buy a house. So that means if you go for sale by owner or limited listing service for sale by owner, that means 89 out of 100 realtors are really going to dread selling your house. Okay. So the simple economics of supply and demand, the lower the demand, the lower the offer. If you've got a lower demand of agents that want to sell your house, especially almost 9 out of 10 agents that don't want to sell your house, guess what? You're going to get a lower offer than you should have got. And the reason you're going to get it is because you tried to save every penny. Okay. You tried to save every penny you possibly could. You wanted to go on the MLS for 200 bucks, which cost you 20 grand, as opposed to paying me 3,000 bucks or 3,500 bucks and getting amazing representation and being able to simply wipe your hands of the entire process and focus on your family or focus on your work or focus on your move. Okay. It's not a hard pitch. You just got to know who your competition is. Okay. Know who it is and know how to, for lack of a better word, show them the realities of what they're dealing with. Show them the realities of what they're getting and show them why you make more sense. This is Grant Clayton, founder and owner of 1% Lists. I hope you found this video enlightening, educational, or somewhere in there. If you have any disagreements, or if you want to have a discussion, or if there's anything you think I missed, feel free to comment below, reach out to me on social media, drop me a line, whatever you like. Hope everybody found this interesting and insightful. This is Grant. Have a great day.